25 rock and roll stars who were drunk all the time. Rock and roll has always danced on the line between glory and self-destruction. From whiskey-soaked performances to tragic blackouts, many legends drank with reckless abandon. We will explore 25 iconic stars whose lives and careers were deeply intertwined with alcohol, revealing both unforgettable highs and devastating lows. Ozzy Osbourne. The legendary Prince of Darkness once guzzled a staggering 28 gallons of booze to survive one brutal Christmas season, about 224 pints before December 24. He since wrestled with addiction, credits Alcoholics Anonymous for his survival, and still leans on his wife, Sharon, to keep him grounded. From rockstar excess to hard-won sobriety, Ozzy's wild ride proves how high the stakes are. Kurt Cobain, the voice of a generation, battled more than fame. He fought internal storms fueled by booze and booze-laced pills. In March 1994, he overdosed on champagne and Rohypnol in Rome, a desperate cry for help that shocked loved ones. Even after an intervention and detox stint, he slipped away, haunted by pain and depression. His fierce honesty, on stage and off, made every slurred lyric feel painfully real. Cobain's raw struggle kept fans hooked, even as it took a toll on his soul. Amy Winehouse. She wasn't just a singer, she was a force of nature. With a voice that could melt hearts and lyrics that cut to the core, she became a global sensation. But behind the glamour was a woman battling demons. Her relationship with alcohol was complex. She once said, "I spend my life drinking," acknowledging her struggle. Despite attempts to overcome her addiction, she tragically died from alcohol poisoning in 2011. Amy's story is a poignant reminder of the fine line between genius and self-destruction. Anthony Kiedis, Red Hot Chili Peppers frontman. Anthony Kiedis battled heroin and alcohol addiction throughout the 80s and 90s. In his memoir, Scar Tissue, he details his struggles and eventual sobriety journey. Since 2000, Kiedis has maintained sobriety, crediting his son's birth in 2007 as a significant motivator. His story is a testament to resilience and the possibility of redemption. Did you find this intriguing? What will you think about the next one? Janis Joplin. She wasn't just a singer, she was a force of nature. With a voice that could move mountains and a spirit that defied norms, she became a symbol of the 1960s counterculture. But behind the music was a woman battling inner demons. Her struggles with alcohol and heroin were well documented, yet her passion for music never wavered. Tragically, she passed away at 27, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. Jim Morrison, famously known as the lead singer of The Doors, was notorious for his heavy drinking and erratic behavior. Known for downing multiple bottles of cognac daily, his alcohol abuse often affected his performance and personal life. Despite his struggles, Morrison's poetic lyrics and charismatic stage presence left an indelible mark on rock history. He passed away in 1971 at the age of 27, leaving behind a legacy of music and mystery. Wipe your tears and put yourself together. Up next is Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix. The virtuoso who redefined rock guitar was also known for his wild lifestyle. He often drank heavily and experimented with various substances, including LSD and amphetamines. His substance use sometimes led to erratic behavior, including violent outbursts. Tragically, Hendrix died at 27, leaving behind a legacy of groundbreaking music and a cautionary tale about the perils of excess. Keith Moon. The Who's legendary drummer was known for his explosive energy and equally explosive lifestyle. He once drank Oliver Reed under the table in a legendary contest, only to declare, "I'm going to the pub for a real drink." Moon's antics included filling hotel rooms with explosives and even passing out mid-performance, leading to a fan stepping in to finish the show. Stevie Ray Vaughan. The Texas blues legend started drinking at age 6, and by the mid-80s was downing a quart of whiskey and an ounce of cocaine daily. After collapsing during a 1986 European tour, he checked into rehab and got sober. His 1989 album, In Step, reflected his newfound clarity and became his most acclaimed work. Scott Weiland, famously known as the charismatic frontman of Stone Temple Pilots and Velvet Revolver, captivated audiences with his haunting vocals and magnetic stage presence. However, his brilliance was marred by a tumultuous battle with addiction. He candidly admitted that heroin initially quelled his insecurities, but over time, it consumed him, leading to multiple rehab stints and legal troubles. Despite his struggles, Weiland's musical legacy endures. Chris Cornell, lead vocalist of Soundgarden and Audioslave, was renowned for his powerful voice and profound lyrics. However, his journey was marred by struggles with addiction and depression. He entered rehab in 2002, achieving sobriety, but his battle continued. Tragically, in 2017, he passed away with prescription drugs found in his system. His widow, Vicky, believes his death was influenced by medication-induced impairment. Steve Clark, he was the creative spark behind Def Leppard's biggest hits, but his genius was fueled by heavy drinking. He collapsed with a .59 blood alcohol level, twice what put John Bonham in a coma. Despite multiple rehab stints, he couldn't stop. At just 30, he died from a mix of booze and meds. Can you imagine making chart toppers while spiraling? But Clark wasn't the only rock god undone by liquor. Our next legend, Lemmy Kilmister, poured whiskey like water and lived to tell the tale. David Bowie. David Bowie, rock's ultimate shapeshifter, plunged into heavy cocaine addiction in the mid-70s. His coke-fueled fugue state nearly wrecked him. He battled depression, switched addictions to alcohol, and admitted it took years to shake it. He saved himself by fleeing to Berlin, getting sober by 1980, and crafting his triumphant Berlin trilogy, A Survivor's Comeback from Darkness. Slash, whose riffs wrote rock history, used to drink Jack Daniels by the gallon and chase cuts of cocaine and heroin until his heart nearly gave out. In 2006, he checked into rehab, surrendered, and celebrated 15 years sober in 2021. Now sharper and stronger, he's back on stage, living proof that even legends can rewrite their story. Isn't that incredible? Billy Joe Armstrong, Green Day's fiery singer, admits he drank to calm stage fright, starting after Dookie and spiraling into nightly benders and prescription pill misuse. His meltdown at the 2012 iHeartRadio Festival, ranting, smashing his guitar, then entering rehab, was a wake-up call. Since then, he's rebuilt through sobriety, honest lyrics, and support from family. Proof that even punk legends can hit pause and heal. How inspiring is that? Chester Bennington. Chester Bennington, lead singer of Linkin Park, transformed personal anguish into anthems for a generation. His raw vocals on tracks like Numb and In the End resonated deeply with fans. Despite his success, he battled depression, substance abuse, and childhood trauma. Tragically, he died by suicide in 2017, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire and raise awareness about mental health struggles. Lars Ulrich. He was born December 26, 1963, in Gentofte, Denmark, co-founded Metallica in 1981. Known for his energetic performances and distinctive drumming style, he played a pivotal role in shaping the band's sound. Beyond music, Ulrich is a passionate advocate for artists' rights, notably challenging Napster in the early 2000s. In 2017, he was knighted by the Danish Crown Prince for his contributions to music. Eddie Van Halen. He was born in Amsterdam in 1955, revolutionized rock guitar with his two-handed tapping technique and blistering solos. As the co-founder of Van Halen, he crafted timeless hits like Jump and Panama. Despite battling cancer for years, Eddie continued to inspire musicians worldwide. He passed away on October 6, 2020, at 65, leaving behind a legacy of musical brilliance. Carl Wilson. The youngest Wilson brother was the Beach Boys' steady anchor. With his smooth tenor and flawless guitar work, he led hits like God Only Knows and Good Vibrations. When Brian stepped back, Carl became the band's guiding force, producing albums and keeping harmony amid chaos. His solo albums, Carl Wilson, 1981, and Youngblood 1983 showcased his depth as an artist. He passed away in 1998 from lung cancer, leaving a legacy of musical brilliance. John Bonham. John Bonzo Bonham was the thunder behind Led Zeppelin's sound. His beats were explosive, raw, and unforgettable. But off stage, he was a mean and angry drunk, prone to drinking sprees and sudden rage. One wild day in September 1980, he downed around 40 shots of vodka over 12 hours, then tragically choked in his sleep, claiming a life of legend, excess, and sudden end. A brutal reminder of rock's darkest limits. Post Malone. He isn't just a hit maker, he's a party legend. He once downed beer from a fan's sneaker and even sipped cigarette-infused water after losing a beer pong match. Yet behind the wild nights, he hit rock bottom, drinking bodying fifths of vodka and spiraling into despair until his fiancée and Justin Bieber helped guide him back to being responsible now. A wild ride, right? Take a good look at the next four names. Mac Miller. Mac Miller, born Malcolm James McCormick, was a Pittsburgh-born rapper who began his career in 2007 at the age of 15. He gained prominence with his mixtapes K.I.D.'s and Best Day Ever in 2010 and 2011, respectively. His debut studio album, Blue Slide Park, topped the Billboard 200 chart in 2011. Miller's music evolved, reflecting his personal growth and struggles. Justin Bieber. Justin exploded into fame as a teen, but early success came with a darker side. By age 19, he was risking his life with pills and alcohol, and security even checked his pulse at night. After a 2014 DUI, he hit a pause on drugs and leaned on his faith and wife, Haley. Today, he drinks socially and focuses on family and health. A real transformation, don't you think? Liam Payne. Liam shot to fame at 16 with One Direction, but the flash of success soon started to dim, thanks to non-stop touring and hotel minibars. He admits he was pissed quite a lot of the time, just to get through shows. In 2017, he hit pause, a year of sobriety, therapy, and rebuilding. He later spent 100 days in rehab and celebrated 6 months sober in 2023. Liam's story isn't just about fame, it's a reminder that even the brightest stars need to find their balance. Shifty Shellshock. Shifty Shellshock, Seth Binzer, the magnetic frontman behind Crazy Town's Butterfly, lived a life of wild fame and addiction. From filming Celebrity Rehab to comas, arrests, and 4-decade struggles, he wore his scars publicly. In a heart-wrenching twist, he celebrated sobriety just months before his death from an accidental overdose in June 2024. His raw honesty, "I'd like to live," still echoes. Can you imagine performing a global hit while fighting such demons? And that's our tour through rock's wildest souls. Thanks for sticking around. You're the real MVP. Want more epic stories and behind-the-scenes moments? Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment with the next legend you'd like us to spotlight. We've got more music-packed content coming your way, so stay tuned, stay awesome, and keep the rock spirit alive.